You haven't lived until you've heard the show Americans are talking about. The show that launches its listeners to the height of humanity. The audio hour that travels the landscape of adventure. The sound that comforts more than the clip of your first bolt. It's the Ogden Outdoor Adventure Show!
Outdoor Adventure summits the airwaves. This is the Ogden Outdoor Adventure Show. I'm your host, Brandon Long. I'm belay with you for the next about 40 minutes. With me, my partner in crime, the best co-host in all the land on Zoom, Todd Obendorfer. Todd, how are you?
Hello. Good to see you, sir.
Todd at the top. Sorry, everybody out there. Didn't know his last name.
Good sun. We got some good sun coming in. I can see it through the skylight on your side.
Yeah. No, this is one of the perks of being in the place that we are in here inside this old 1920s Monarch building in downtown Ogden. Sunroof.
Oh, we got a good sunroof spot.
And haven't done this for a while, but I bought some seltzers from Uinta for First Friday last week. This is Westwater. Uinta, feel free to just send us a whole bunch of these. Just keep them coming. These aren't bad at all. So Uinta Brewing out of Salt Lake.
Nice.
Yeah.
I tried the mango one. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I want to try the lime one next. Ooh. I think.
Raspberry's pretty raspberry. It's got a little.
It's a raspberry. It tastes like raspberry.
It's a little. It's amazing.
It tastes like snozberries. That's Charlie the Chocolate Factory. That's funny.
Woo-wee. That's a little tart. That's good. I like it. I like that. Gives you a little kick to it. Okay, so on this week's show, we are recording. I'm hanging out in Banyan 1 inside the Monarch in the heart of Ogden's new Nine Rails Arts District. We do a little trip report. Oh my gosh, I don't have a weekly happy. I forgot. On the docket, in the news, including a snow report, and it should snow this week too, which is fantastic. Deadliest week, no water, a lion door, Canadian saves an elk. It's like the most Canadian thing ever. Mountain flow, shark, Cole's outdoor.
I'm sorry. That's so awesome.
RV expansion, give you something worth watching and also something worth listening to. Gear 30 segment, including quite possibly the ugliest trail running shoes on the market. So I'm really excited to talk about those. Quote of the week, Outdoor Jukebox. All this and more on the Ogden Outdoor Adventure Show, episode 367, Love Outside. So let's charge.
He summits with the agility of a mountain goat, flashes routes faster than UPS, is more intimate in the mountains than Jake Gyllenhaal. He's Todd to the top.
Todd at the top. I saw an article. I pulled it up that because I don't have a weekly happy, so let's talk Sundance. That Sundance did really well, and Park City benefited somehow. I'm not really sure how, but the numbers were really well attended.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
I saw 5 or 6 movies.
Yeah,
and so that's not bad considering. Yeah. There was like a first main screening that you would sort of watch within a time frame, because there was a live Q&A if you wanted to catch that directly after. And so still the cast and the crew, and there was some interaction there to some degree. And then they did a second screening 2 days later, and that was good for, I believe, 24 hours. And so you could see it anytime within that 24-hour frame. So that's nice. That was actually kind of nice. You know, I obviously look forward to getting back to Park City again. I love going out there, but they certainly made the most of it. There's some really good movies that came out of it, just much fewer than usual. But I was concerned, a little bit, obviously, that there are fewer people in Park City. So I'm curious to see how they made some money off of that, unless people just kept the vacation and just hung out. I don't know.
I don't know
how that worked.
I don't know.
But it made me happy for a week. It was a little bit less than the 10 days it usually runs. I think it was like 5 days or something, but it was still a lot of fun.
Well, now it's time for a little bit of weekly unhappy. This is unhappy, and that is this weekend is typically Banff Mountain Film Festival weekend here in Ogden, and usually we do the 3-day tour, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, at Piers Egyptian Theater, supporting the Banff Mountain Film Festival World Tour, and nothing.
Yeah, that'll miss.
That sucks.
It's invigorating bunch of movies. Now, are they doing an online thing? Did we miss the online thing?
Yeah, so I should check. I haven't seen. Maybe if you're punching keys there on the computer, do a quick search. I haven't seen anything. You would think I would see something if it's this weekend, for crying out loud. Jan came in the store this a couple weeks ago, and I saw her, and she said, "Hey, it's going to be all virtual this year." And I thought, "Oh, great," but I haven't seen anything. And so if it'd be nice if there was. So yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen it, but anywho, skis. Trip report, did take the kids skiing again on Sunday. Also, my Chase, he went skiing today. I said the snow is really weird and bad, but it's been windy up there at the resorts. Sunday it was windy all day. Super Bowl Sunday. It was sunny though and warm, and the kids had a good time, but it was windy up top. Conditions were kind of weird. But it's supposed to snow this week, so that's good. That is good. On the docket, what's today? The 10th? So the B Street Speaker Series, Ogden Avalanche Roosters B Street Speaker Series is tomorrow night, 6 to 8 p.m. That's the last one. If you haven't attended one yet, you can cruise down to B Street. We start about 6:30, or jump on the YouTube. We run it live on YouTube, and then, of course, it lives on the Ogden Avalanche YouTube page, and you can rewatch those. Last week's was moving AF. So it was Mikey up at Snowbasin, patroller who'd been buried by an avalanche, almost died, lived to tell about it, and during him retelling the story, it was very emotional. And so I found that it was like minute 27 or something, and I sent it to a few of my friends saying, "Hey, you should watch this. It's really, really good." So you can check out that one. That one's up at YouTube right now. But are you sending me links?
I just threw you a link in chat, so it'll show you how you can pay for packages for the virtual film festival, and it looks like it runs through. But we'll throw that link in the show notes. But it looks like it's available until October 24th, 2021, and then you get packages. Individual packages that have certain films in them, I assume. And so we will have to research a bit and we'll get back to you. Otherwise, take a peek and get back to us.
Yeah.
Let us know what you
so
think.
We can throw our own little mini Banff and watch them in the privacy of our own homes, I guess.
Yeah, 100%.
Sweet.
And it looks like they're reasonably priced too. So you might even get a little bit more bang for your buck.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Okay. I'm going to click on this link. See what happens. It'll probably open. Well, it's not doing anything. Oh, it's opening. I never use Safari, so it's popping up. Open my Safari, but okay.
Oh, gotcha.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. See. Also, we have on the docket. It's Valentine's Day weekend, so don't forget about your sweetheart. Those of you who have them. Ogden Avalanche Roosters B Street Series and there's an area level 1, and so Snowbasin Valentine's dining special at the Cinnabar this weekend. So you can that's an option if you'd like to take your darling out for dinner up at Snowbasin or hit it after a day of skiing. That would be fun. Next weekend is the WSU Full Moon Snowshoe. Also, I think. The ski team is going to do their uphill at Snowbasin on the 27th as well, and that will be. I think they're gonna offer timing. So if you want to race it, you can race. It's just for fun, but you can race up Snowbasin. Yeah, and then also I will be. I think they're going to run the. Well, they are going to run the powder keg, and I'll be emceeing the powder keg. So that's in a couple weeks. If you're from Ogden, you should really think about going and racing in the powder keg, because it feels like no one from Ogden ever goes down there and does that. And I'm the only Ogden person. I'm by myself. All these Salt Lake people. It's very uncomfortable. You should all.
Yeah, there's such difficult people.
Yeah, no, they are extraordinarily nice. I can't. I'm used events here. I know so many people. It's just very natural to say hi to people. It's like, hey, and then I go to an event in Salt Lake and I don't know anybody, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of weird. I don't know anybody. Yeah. So you should go to the powder keg. It's at Brighton. They have a recreation division. Anybody can enter, really. So it's a lot of fun. I hear, I haven't done it, but it's fun to MC.
Did I keep you company there once?
You did.
Many years ago.
You did.
I remember it was like freezing. The laptop almost froze. It was really cold.
Yeah, and I bought.
Did you wrap up your laptop in a coat or something?
You have to, yeah, or else
like
it doesn't.
Like a poofy sleeve or something.
Yeah,
like that.
it doesn't work if you don't. Well, so then I had like a blanket over the mixer. I just bought a Zoom mixer last year, and the first thing I took it to was that event, and afterwards it was so cold. Afterwards, it wasn't working right, and I'm like, oh great, I ruined it after one. So, it survived. It's like the thing, like you put it in rice or something. Anyway, it dried out. I don't know what happened, but it worked. But we bought that that small Yamaha mixer for the Monarch to use, because they were borrowing our stuff for a while, and I got tired of like unhooking all of our stuff for the mixer. So I bought a little tiny Yamaha one. I'll take that one, because if that one breaks, we're only out like $100 or so, $130 or something.
I think that's a good idea. You could see the temperature requirements. Maybe we'll look those up and say good down to
0, because it's normally 0 degrees in the mornings there. So
yeah, it's very, very cold.
I got to give a shout out to, they asked us to, Ogden Bicycle Collective. They are having a fundraiser on March 5th. It will be digital, virtual fundraiser. It's called the Lousy. Oh, dang it. I got to click on this because, Smarch. I spelled Smarch and it auto-corrected it to search. It's the Lousy Smarch fundraiser. Ogden Bicycle Collective online, March 5th. Look for that. Cool. Smarch. Let's see what they were doing there. Smart, Smarch, March, and Smart. I'm not sure. Smarch.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Let's share the view skis here. Oh wait, I gotta go down here to share the screen. I'm very clumsy at sharing screens. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, in the news. I'm moving right along here. The resorts are getting snow in February, so that's good, although not enough because water's dry. We'll talk about that in a minute. Powder Mountain is claiming 2 in the last 24 with the 40-inch base. Snowbasin's showing 0s in the last 48 with the 54-inch, but they are bragging about getting, as it says, we are expected to receive 19 inches of new snow over the next 5 days. So be sure to purchase your day tickets online in advance to guarantee your time on the slopes with us. Excuse me, yes. 12 out of 12 lifts spinning up there. Access to 105 runs. Snowbasin had 3 inch, or Snowbird had 3 inches in the last 24. Ooh, they got look at all their propaganda going on here. Lots of words that I'm not going to read. 68-inch base. So it is snowing, and that's good. Winter has finally sort of arrived. Although
Brandon,
it's like 50 degrees.
I got a quick question for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I understand, I'm not a big skier, snowboarder,
right.
But I do understand fresh snow, what that represents. What's the base, like what's the difference between 54 and 68?
Yeah.
When you're skiing.
Oh, well, yeah, so you want the snow piles up. And when it snows and you get 12 inches and then it goes down. But, when you hike the resorts in the summertime and you see all the rocks and the trees and stuff, Well, you want those covered when you go skiing. So,
so is there a bare minimum we need to be at?
Yeah, you want to be at a minimum.
Once it gets to a certain point, does the base matter that as much?
So, these are what were these bases? I
think I saw like a 54 and a 68.
You'll see them up over 100 some years, So that's really good. So 50s is okay. It's not great.
So it's good for snowpack, but for skiers, once it gets to a certain point, does that matter as much?
You do well. Once it gets over a certain point, not as much, because what you don't want to do is when you're skiing, you don't want to clip rocks in trees, right? With your skis. So when it's low tide, which was the name of one of our episodes a little while ago, that's sort of why you're skiing low tide, and there's a better opportunity for you to ruin your skis and your snowboards or whatever. So you do want a decent base for sure. And then as it grows over the season, it sort of changes the mountain a little bit in parts. The groomed runs are pretty similar, but you can find different tracks to take and stuff when you get more snow, which is always fun. So yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Good question.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Deadliest week since I think it was 1910 for avalanches last week. 14 people died in avalanches last week. I pulled up KSL here. Deadliest week of avalanches, U.S. avalanches on record for a really, really long time. Not good. A group in Salt Lake, all in their 20s, got caught. 8 people got caught. 4 died. I have friends who were friends with them. I didn't know any of them. It's extraordinarily sad, especially because some, it's sad when anybody dies, but then when there's sort of a connection there, it makes it a little more real. And then some were in the industry, in outdoor industry, and so that's just, you think, well, should they have known better, or who knows? So it just sucks. Oh, and by the way, there was I gotta pop my ears. There was a avalanche caught on camera in the Uintas by some snowmobilers that was all over Instagram. If you haven't seen that, it is absolutely insane. Nobody died, and it's a miracle nobody died, because the footage of it will just blow your mind. The conditions out there remain sketchy. It just was a bad season for backcountry skiing. So people died last week, and let's hope that nobody else dies this season. Everybody stays out of avalanche terrain. Check conditions. So speaking of mountain bases, the outlook is dismal for Utah water supply, with snowpack at just 62% of normal, according to KSL.com. This was by Amy Jo, originally on the Des News article. Look how they share their articles around. Utah water supply briefing Tuesday delivered grim news amid the state's growing drought conditions, and it is unlikely any coming storms will lift snowpack to even average for this water year. We're in record dry conditions this year. Blah. Clayton told water managers in a virtual meeting that there's little chance, 10%, of boosting snowpack in any significant way, given that precip for the water year that began October 1 is still sitting at 62%. So, blech. Might be a bad summer. It means fires. It means maybe some water restrictions. This little kid standing on top of the water. That's kind of cool. Yeah, not good.
More snow. I'll deal with some more snow.
So, do you have a cat door or a doggy door?
My unit does. The one across from me does, but yeah.
Yeah. Just make sure it's not a mountain lion door.
Jeez. Those are pretty big.
I know. Mountain lion.
They're not getting through a cat-sized door. It's got to be like a big full-size door.
Yeah. It says breaks through glass door into Mill Creek Canyon home.
Oh, geez.
Mountain lion broke into a home through a sliding glass door in the foothills of Mill Creek Canyon on Saturday. The man who discovered the animal walked away uninjured. You can just turn around in your house and there's like a friggin' mountain lion there. The incident happened around 11 a.m. Saturday when a man went to check on his family member's house and discovered the home was a little cold, said Scott Root, outreach manager for the Division of Wildlife Resources. When the man went downstairs, he saw a large hole in the sliding glass door and noticed several potted plants scattered around. Some plants appeared to have bites taken out of them. Shortly after discovering the hole in the glass door, the man saw the mountain lion dart out of a corner and run back outside through the broken glass. That would scare the living bejesus out of me.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, mountain lions are no joke. Can you imagine having one in your house? Oh my gosh.
Just kind of a surreal thing. Never seen one in my life, said John Hughes. Is that the John Hughes? John Hughes.
I think that John Hughes has left us, but yes.
Has he? Oh, that's a shame.
Unless this experience woke him up, which they have.
Brought him back? Yeah.
Yeah, brought him back. Oh my gosh, how terrifying is that? I'd be terrified it was a freaking raccoon. It would scare me to death.
I know. Gosh. So the other night, my wife had left something in her car and sent my daughter out to the car, which is parked direct, like the door from our kitchen. We can see out the door and we can see the car. Sent the daughter out to grab the thing from the car. So she's 11. So she grabs the thing from the car, accidentally sets off the car alarm, and it's because it's in a carport, it echoes even louder. It was so loud. She screamed like I've never seen any kid scream before. Like, there's spider screams, and then there was whatever this was, like, and ran in the house, like feet running in place, just screaming. It scared the hell out of us. Like, what is going? It's just the car alarm. I think that's what I would be doing if I saw a cat run at me from inside my house. Yeah, pretty.
Yep, it'd be like those cartoons where like your body takes off and your clothes are left behind you.
You're running in place. Yeah.
Yep. Oh my gosh.
Westwater.
Oh, I would hear about this story.
Canadian man. This is on unofficial networks. A Canadian man witnessed an elk it got buried by an avalanche, so he ran over to save it because he's Canadian. So there's this great picture, if you can see. If you're
the
watching,
elk is right there.
Yeah, the YouTube version. Those of you who are listening on the podcast, join us on YouTube. You can kind of watch what we do here. It's sort of fun. And there's a picture here. They circled the elk. He just got smoked. Holy F bomb. Poor elk. He just got smoked. Hats off to Canadians Jesse Dahlberg and Patrick Sengers, who witnessed an elk getting smashed by an avalanche and snapped into action to rescue the animal from an icy grave. The CBC reports the incident happened on February 3rd as the pair were watching railroad crews use explosives to trigger avalanches near Field, which is a town in southeastern BC. I'd play the video, but there's some swear words that we didn't really buzz out. But yeah, you can watch the video. And they saved the friggin' elk. I could tell it was alive. It was looking at me. I could see its nose moving. It couldn't move. It was in that snow like concrete. It was alive, and I wanted to save it. So they went over with the shovel and friggin' dug it out, man. Save the elk. Look at that happy little elk.
Oh, so the young one or just the angle?
Female.
Oh, okay, good story.
That is a really good story. Well, I guess unless the male lost its antlers, but there's no antlers, so that's why I went straight female with that. But cool. Thanks, Canadians. Makes the world a better place, Yeah,
it's a good story. Thanks for sharing.
I know I like the Shark Tank, but I don't. It's funny because I go through spells of watch. Sometimes I'm like addicted, and then I can't stand the show. I think it sucks. So I go ups and downs through Shark Tank. But there was an outdoor business pitch dude on there the other day. Peter Arlen, founder and owner of Colorado-based Mountain Flow EcoWax, which we have in the shop. I'm pretty sure Chase has used it. He got his big shot on ABC's Shark Tank on Friday night, and he got an investor. So that's good. Two sharks, Mark Cuban and Lori Griner, bowed out, but Kevin O'Leary and Barbara Corcoran and Damon John each offered to invest. After some haggling, Arlene decided John's proposal and declined John's proposal and accepted O'Leary's and Corcoran's joint investment of $300,000 into Mountain Flow for a shared 20% ownership of the company. He says, I was stoked on the deal to see them bump up the offer and provide even more money than I was asking for. It was a good show of faith. They were willing to compromise, and they obviously wanted to come in on the deal. Heck yeah, dude. Get it. So that's cool.
Done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's eco-based, eco-wax, so it doesn't destroy Because when you go skiing and you're snowboarding, for those who are maybe a little unfamiliar, just kind of like surfing, you know, when you have wax on your bottom of your board, little bits of it comes off onto the mountain. And if it's petroleum based, that's bad. So eco wax. You got your cat over there. Oh,
you know it.
Can you make me a cat face? How do I do that? I think
no, I don't know how to do that.
I can't put the filter on.
I saw that video. It's so good.
It's so sad. He's like, I'm really not a cat.
I'm not a cat. I'm not a cat.
I'm not a cat. I just don't know how to change. And it's, oh man, that's what we need right now. We're people who can't figure out how to change their cat filter, and it's like a law firm and attorney. I know. I'm like, props for even getting it on there in the first place. That's pretty good. All right, that
was a pure accident.
Have to go to battle with my own wife, who store manager of Kohl's, and of course I manage a specialty outdoor retailer shop, and Kohl's is bringing in Eddie Bauer to help bolster its active assortment. I think that's awesome. Good job, Kohl's. I like Eddie Bauer stuff. I think it's great. Kohl's will start selling the 100.
Eddie Bauer makes some pretty nice stuff.
Yeah.
Like, don't they?
Oh, for sure. Especially at the Kohl's level, you know, like that's a great brand for Kohl's. That's like, I think like maybe Target or maybe would have brought them in. Maybe they have Eddie Bauer. Maybe I bought Eddie Bauer from that Target years ago, but Kohl's will bring him in now, and that's good for Kohl's, I think, and probably good for Eddie Bauer. They're going to sell a hell of a lot more stuff. Kohl's carries a lot of fashion brands, so we'll see if Eddie Bauer does really well. Kohl's is sort of known for carrying these brands that are from celebrity people that, you know, they make their own clothing line or home furnishings line, and then they will sell it at Kohl's. Some do well, some do not. Eddie Bauer's been around forever. Hopefully this is a match made in retail heaven. That's cool. I think it's cool.
Yeah. We have to check out what they carry from them.
Yeah.
Like to what extent, if they use like higher level versions or that sort of right under, and kind of like North Face. You were talking about North Face before.
Yeah.
There's those different sort of levels of North Face, and it all depends on kind of who they're partnering with.
Well, we have found that when people come in and ask for snow pants, they're basically looking for like $100 North Face snow pants. You know what I mean? Like they're not looking at the Patagonia $300 to $700 shell. They're like, nope, I just need some snow pants. Where's the $100 North Face ones, or what, you know? And that's what they buy a lot of. And so if Kohl's is in around that range of Eddie Bauer, the $50 to $100 whatever jackets and stuff, like they'll do really well. Probably around $150. So they sold this because of quarantine, because of COVID. The RV industry took off. Everyone bought RVs.
Yeah,
this last summer.
Yeah, they did all right. And
it's like, well, where are we going to go camping? And that's part of the problem is, well, all the campsites are full, right? So this is according to Wood. What the heck is woodallscm.com? I don't even know what this website is. How did I get here? New park developments spring up across North America. The national
rabbit hole,
rabbit
hole story.
Yep, it is. The National Association of RV Parks and Campgrounds estimates that more than 53,000 new RV sites will be built across the country this year. The estimate was based on the survey of 516 campground and RV park operators. It's like big business to build RV parks now because everyone has RVs and they need places to go. So KOAs and all kinds of stuff. Good. Build more stuff. Look, so more in Florida because this is great. You just drive the RV to the beach in Florida. 3 giant ones in Florida, KOAs. Gulfport in Mississippi, Lincoln West, Nebraska, North Carolina, Oklahoma. A couple of new KOAs in Texas and a new KOA in West Virginia. Got to park them RVs somewhere. You know.
What? RV parks in Florida? What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's kind of cheating.
I think that'll do okay.
All right, so worth watching. I didn't get too far. I got 5 minutes into this. It's so good, though. it's got a good name. You know, Arbor, the brand. I forgot it was actually called the Arbor Collective, like the Banyan Collective.
I remember them. Yeah.
Arbor. So my snowboard, my splitboard is an Arbor. They, started 25 years ago. So they have this new film, this documentary called Crossing the Grain, mindfully crafted for 25 years. Ooh, that's really
On the way home, I stopped through Santa Monica to see my folks.
Turn that down.
And reconnected with Chris. He said, look, man, I've started this little business selling sustainable wood from Hawaii. And what they're doing is they're cutting the standing dead or fallen dead trees, and they're selling the wood to fund the restoration of this land. And he wants me to be the guy who sells the wood.
That's the owner of
Arbor. You want to be involved? You want to do this with me? And I was like, really? Chris was really good at selling things, making me think they were the greatest things ever. And I, wide-eyed jumped into it with both feet. For me, I was an environmentalist. That's what I cared about. And I always knew that whatever I did for work, the environment was going to be part of it.
Nice. So it's like a bio.
Yeah, honestly, it's like a 45-minute advertorial. But
it's smart though.
It is
we get
smart.
to know them a little bit better. That's pretty cool.
Well, it tells the story, and it's really good to do. So, came out on February 4th, so it's brand new. Has a couple thousand, almost 3,000 views on YouTube. You can go to YouTube and watch it. I would suggest it's worth watching. It was getting me stoked on. He grew up in the time of Z-Town Dog Boys, right? Wait, did I say it wrong?
Dogtown Z Boys.
Oh, yeah, Dogtown Z Boys. Skateboard movement there in Cali. So then he was like, let's make snowboards and skateboards out of reclaimed wood and wood veneers. When the 80s were very, late 80s, early 90s was very bright colors, so he wanted to do more of a return to nature vibe with his products. I've always been a fan of Arbor, but that is worth watching.
Nice. Good choice.
Worth listening. And I don't know if you remember or know, I think Snowbrains' podcast is fairly new. They're only on episode 13. So I want to listen to this. I put it on here because it's one that I'm like checking to listen to, go back and listen to. Adrian Ballinger, climber extraordinaire. It's Snowbrains podcast, episode 13 with Adrian, climbing Mount Everest and K2 without supplemental oxygen. I think this is going to be I'm hoping this is a really good interview with him. So I'm just putting it on the worth listening. There's an idea. If you get bored, if you're looking for a podcast, seems like half the requests on Facebook these days are like, anybody got a good book or a good podcast? So I'm like, here's one. Maybe this will be something you can.
I've listened to one of theirs before. I'll check this one out.
Yeah. Gear 30 segment, Love Outside sale up at Gear 30 right now. Remember Rumpel blankets? We have a bunch of them and they are on sale. 10% off for your lover. Valentine's Day. Also some kids clubs. Groove Life belts and Groove Life rings. Get her or him a ring. They're the cool. See, I've got the other brand because I got the original brand we carried, but we sell Groove Life now. They're pretty cool. They come in fun colors and stuff. Also, we
put a ring on it.
Put a ring on it, man. It's Valentine's Day. What are you thinking? Just quit wasting your time. Kinko's are on sale. Anyway, go to gear30.com. Okay, now for the moment we have all been waiting for. Quite possibly the ugliest trail running shoe ever to debut. This is the North Face's.
You
Dad
should
shoe.
warn us next time. Warn me.
Sorry.
It's so bright. They're so bright.
If you like to barbecue with a button-up shirt on or mow the lawn and make sure that your white shoes are got a little green stain on them, you really like these trail running shoes. Of course, Cody at our shop, our e-cob guy, he's like, I don't think they're ugly. I like them. So maybe he likes them. I don't know. Maybe he's kidding. Maybe it was sarcasm.
Those are your dad's trail running shoes for sure.
It's the North.
Well, they look like next gen dad trail running shoes.
They are, they're like next level. So that's the plain white Adidas kicks, but with like A little flare. The North Face, it's the New Balance, right? The white New Balance is the dad shoes. So this is a little nice. I don't know.
They look very similar.
The Flight Vective trail running shoes. Okay. All right. So here's the top view. Top view looks a little nicer. That's not too bad there. And there's a side view, a little more gray. So they're white with sort of the gray back, and mesh toes. Mesh over the toes.
It's got a little ankle sleeve. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Top view here, your tread work there. And then now this person says at the bottom of the last picture says they don't stay white for very long. Yeah.
I was just gonna say I don't mind those colors. Those are all right.
That's
all
called
grayed out.
Dirt brown or trail brown. Yeah.
Well, that's funny.
Heel toe drop is 6 millimeter. A TPE footbed, 3D molded heel counter, full length carbon fiber plate. Maybe it's a rockered midsole. Here's the deal, though. They're $200. I can't, in good conscience, say you need to pay $200 for this particular trail running shoe. I have some Topos that are like 120, 130. I swear by them. So I'd like to demo these if North Face wants to send us some, but I love Ultra and Topo, and right now I'm in love with Topo, and I don't think you could talk me out of that, especially for a 6 mil drop. But I don't know. There you go. Check your 30 segment.
That's our new dad segment.
Yeah, our new dad segment. I think that's all. That's all I got. We'll head into and we're back. Okay. Quote of the week. What we fear doing most is usually what we most need to do. Tim Ferriss. Whatever happened to Tim? Tim was like on everything, everywhere. And now I don't ever see Tim. Where's Tim? You ever listen to Tim Ferriss podcast or anything?
No, I haven't for a while. Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question. It's a good quote, though.
Yeah.
And there's always some truth to that as well. So,
anything else you'd like to talk about today? That's all I got, I think.
No, just another quick, busy week. These weeks go by like this.
Oh, I'm telling you what.
For those of you that are listening that want to get a little art, there's a new opening at Ogden Contemporary Art at the Monarch that opens. We're recording this on Wednesday. I think it opens tomorrow, Thursday. Tomorrow's like a VIP opening, and then Friday is the opening night. And so I think you come check it out. I don't know if it's an appointment only thing or not. You'll have to look it up. But I do know that you can also check it out virtually. If you want to.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've ever checked out any of those 3D virtual tours of gallery spaces, et cetera. And it's trippy.
So,
it's trippy. Like you can it's like they probably do it for homes, I imagine, where you kind of essentially walk through it.
Yes.
And you really feel like you're in it. Well, these gallery, the way they map these out, it's really cool. It's not the same. I mean, I'd rather go check it out, but it's pretty cool.
Scroll and zoom in and pretend like you're actually there kind of a thing.
Oh yeah. You can find out more about the artist. You can play videos. I mean, there's some things you can't do in person that you're able to do online. You can check on the bios for the artist or artist statements, that type of thing. But I'm pretty sure they're doing a virtual tour of that as well. So
virtual.
Check her out.
Virtual tour. Yeah, that's cool.
Tour.
Thank you to Banyan One for powering today's 367th episode of the Ogden Outdoor Adventure Show. Look for us on Facebook, Instagrammies, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Again, we are on YouTube. Thanks for listening to this as a podcast. If you'd like to join us on the YouTube and subscribe, hit ding the bell, hit the notification button, because then you'll know when we post these, and that's how it works. We could use the subscribers because that would help us make money eventually on that particular platform. So cruise on over to the YouTube and give us a follow there, because Todd asked you to do that last week. And so if you haven't listened yes,
get to smash the like or
smash it,
follow or
the subscribe. if you want to chat with us, probably the best way to do it is to DM us on Instagram at Ogden Adventure. So last night we premiered a van sessions. I haven't posted one for a while. So it was the Snarlin' Yarns mashup with the literally host, Case Johnston. And I thought it went well. And Case had a blast. He said, "Oh, your podcast is so much more fun than mine." But this is,
it was fun to watch. It felt weird not being there, but it was fun to watch.
Yeah, it's a lot going on here in this one. So the Snarlin' Yarns, in this particular song, we have a kazoo player. So I know many of you requested for our outdoor jukebox something with the kazoo, please. So without further ado,
and not just any kazoo player,
right?
OFOM's own. Isn't that Reba playing the kazoo?
Reba on kazoo. So as John Muir would say, the mountains are calling, excuse me, and we must go. Mountains aren't going anywhere. Apparently I'm going somewhere. This is Snarlin' Yarns on Van Sessions.
Got sheets up on the windows, those neon lights just fine. Laughter on the sidewalk, give me one more dime. I'm feeling out for winter, the fireweed's almost gone. Key West, Tulum, New Orleans, which way will I roll this time? Oh, candy, cigarettes, ashtrays, and dollars for your time. We'll get through these mass days, Helltown will rise again. Oh, candy, cigarettes, ashtrays, and dollars for your time. We'll get through these mass days, Helltown will rise again.
Comes the kazoo.